Republican divisions on the war in Ukraine spilling over into the 2024 campaign. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis now saying, quote, while the United States has many vital national interests, becoming further entangled in a territorial dispute between Ukraine and Russia is not one of them. The potential candidate made the comments in response to a questionnaire from Fox News' Tucker Carlson. DeSantis now joining former President Trump in pushing the GOP towards skepticism over U.S. involvement in Ukraine. Niall Stanage, White House columnist for The Hill, just wrote a column on this. He joins us this morning. Niall, always good to see you. For starters, let's begin with this. DeSantis also saying, quote, we cannot prioritize intervention in an escalating foreign war over the defense of our own homeland. Now we're seeing some pushback from some in his own party. Break this down for us.
We certainly are. This is really the single most important schism between the traditional wing of the Republican Party and the populist or MAGA wing, if you like. And basically, the traditionalists say the US should be engaged in the wider world. That will involve intervention. And in the case of Ukraine, it is vital that we support Ukraine in order for them to push back Russia. The populist wing don't say any of that. They look at how much money is going into this. They look at the fact that there is no apparent end in sight. Governor DeSantis has nailed his colours to the populist mast in that respect. And now he's getting criticised by Nikki Haley, by Lindsey Graham, by Marco Rubio, and a number of other figures in the party.
And I think when people see these comments coming from DeSantis, I think they also think, what's been the response of the former president to DeSantis' remarks on this?
Yeah, they certainly do. And it's an interesting question because former President Trump and Governor DeSantis are now on the same page on this. But what Trump is saying is that DeSantis has been rather late in getting to that page. And there's validity to that view. Back in 2014, 2015, when Russia annexed Crimea, then Congressman DeSantis was critical of President Obama for not doing more and not sending weapons to Ukraine. The bigger picture here in terms of the campaign is the Trump people believe they see a vulnerability in DeSantis's past record on issues including this, but not limited to this, in terms of trying to paint him as an opportunist. And that's what's going on right now.
And one more thing I wanted to share with you. I know you've seen this, but an AP poll last month found 48% of Americans overall favored the U.S. giving weapons to Ukraine. 29% opposed it, but that's down from 60% support in May of last year. There appears to be a bigger split along party lines on this, right? I mean, are we seeing a shift here?
We are seeing a shift, and I think we're seeing the early bipartisan unity on the Ukraine war crumbling. That poll that you mentioned showed that there were significantly more Democrats willing to keep providing weapons to Ukraine than is the case with Republicans. There was another Pew poll around the same time showing that 40% of Republicans now believe the United States is doing too much to back up Ukraine. Only 15% of Democrats shared that view. So it does show this erosion of the unity on this topic.
Okay. Niall Stanage from The Hill. Thanks so much, my friend.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.